Posted by you/Umpalumpa5. AITA, for not helping my wife buy a dental office when she insisted to get a prenup before marriage? My wife and I are in our very late 30s. When we were getting married, we both were making about the same. Neither of us had anything. I didn't want a prenup because I don't think that's how a marriage should work. But my wife wanted a prenup because she was going to dental school and thought when she opens her own clinic, she will make way more money than me and didn't want to share any of that. Long story short, reluctantly I agreed to the prenup, that also has a provision for future assets, and we basically have had separate finances ever since. Everything is split 50-50 for the most part, edit to clarify, 50-50 when it comes to shared expenses like groceries or going out. She doesn't pay anything toward mortgage. She pays about 30% of the mortgage as rent each month. Recently she has started thinking about opening her own clinic and wants to buy a place which costs about $2 million give or take, including any potential renovations and all the equipment. She won't get approved for a $2 million loan and does not have 20% to put down, not to mention she would need some buffer as well to pay employees and etc. For a couple of months until business picks up. Part of it is understandable. University and dental school were expensive, and she started working later in life. But she also in general spent money liberally. I graduated at 22 and over the years bought 3 houses and save up regularly to buy more rental properties/invest in stocks. I can help her get a loan and pay her down payment, but since she wanted a prenup when we got married, I don't see why I should just give her or even lend her that much money. I told her I can help her with the loan, pay the down payment, be a cosigner and pay the expenses until it is profitable if she splits the clinic 50-50 and no need to pay me back. Or I can loan her the money at 8% interest. She started losing it and being shocked at how I would even think about trying to take a percentage of her business. Friends and family say we are married, and she is my wife, so I should help her succeed in her career and give her the money interest-free and she will pay me back whenever she can. I don't share this sentiment. I think she made it clear how she wanted our financial lives to be when she insisted on a prenup. Also, people might say 8% is a lot, but keep in mind she can't get a loan on her own. If I'm risking $600K on down payment and expenses for a few months when no bank would, this is the interest rate I would be comfortable with, and she should be able to pay it back. The way buying dental clinics work is they are valued based on how much cash flow they have currently, and based on the clinic she is looking at, she should be able to make good money. Anyways, people around us are saying I'm being unreasonable and greedy. I disagree. Wife wanted a prenup and separate finances, she is getting just that. I don't see why I should help her with no benefit to me. So, AITA? Now on to some comments. Posted by Braindusters. NTA because prenuptial addresses future assets. She literally made this situation. She wants to take from you but not risk you benefiting from it. The give and take either works both ways, or it doesn't. Fitterfat 1999 responded with, yeah. She was going to dental school and though when she opens her own clinic, she will make way more money than me and didn't want to share any. Not a good way to start married life, was it? Plus, she wasn't thinking ahead about how she was going to fund this clinic. Op seems to have a better head for business than his wife, and she wants to take advantage of that, and him. I would tell her either accept my terms or start saving so you can afford it on your own. NTA. Pullstop thanks responded with, the offer to give her the money in exchange for a 50% stake is basically like carving the dental practice out of the prenup. So basically, Op is offering to give her over $500,000 of cash in exchange for treating the dental practice like a normal marital asset. And she's saying no. Which is wild. Froze It Off responded with, NTA, this. The moment she lost it and started using the family to gang press him into giving her money, when she didn't want to share any of the success, he should be talking to an attorney. Does the family know about the prenup she required? They might change their tunes. Honestly, I'd seriously have reconsidered marrying her after the she doesn't want to share her success crap. That's what a marriage is. I can see a prenup to protect assets accrued before the marriage, but during? No. Nope the hell out of that. Op, she's just using you till something better comes along. Her behavior shows she's not really invested in this relationship. I just hope this prenup covers both of you, and not just her, otherwise you get seriously taken to the cleaners. Edit, thank you everyone for your input. There are way too many comments to respond to everyone, but I am reading as much of them as I can. Update, AITA for not helping my wife buy a dental office when she insisted to get a prenup before marriage? A lot of people have been asking for an update even to this day, but 2 weeks after I made my post, I got a new phone and lost access to this account. I didn't remember my username or the password and the account was made with an email that doesn't exist. Anyways, finally remembered my username and guessed the password a few times last week and here we are. Buying a dental practice, getting loans, sorting things out between me and the wife took time. After a bunch of back and forth with my wife, weeks of sleeping in separate rooms after we fought, we finally got down to talking about what the point of the prenup was in the first place and what were our thoughts about our marriage and our kid. We didn't see ourselves ever getting divorced and still loved each other, so after some convincing the wife that the prenup is worthless if we don't intend to ever get divorced, we came to the conclusion that the prenup isn't serving any purpose and decided to cancel it altogether, so the whole prenup business is gone for good now. Following that, now that everything is 50-50 by default, I'm helping with the expenses as stated in the original post and we are back to our lives, and to celebrate this new chapter, we are gonna have a second kid, which is exciting although scary at the same time since we are in our late 30s now. We always wanted 2 kids. I don't think I mentioned it in the post that we have 1 kid together, but I think I had mentioned it in a comment. Anyways. Most likely no more updates going forward, but thank you all for your inputs. Now for some comments. Posted by Stacity. I get the feeling this will backfire. No_RXN responded with, yeah, it feels very ominous to me. The only reason the prenup got cancelled was because it benefited her more in the long run. Now she goes from having no assets to half of his. In the first one he mentioned she spends all of her money. I don't know why he wouldn't see how the prenup was protecting him and their child's future. So, someone who spends money liberally now has a huge influx of cash and was able to get their prenup voided. Yep, I think you're right, this will backfire. Limitless Megan responded with, let's buy a $2 million business and have the primary income earner for that business get pregnant and have a newborn at the same time. That'll go well, I'm sure. Curly Hair Fairy responded with, yay, he'll be back in 2 to 5 years asking is he's the asshole for insisting on lower child support payments. Creeves9 responded with, this was not a smart decision at all. Suddenly the prenup doesn't matter because you're never going to get a divorce? How convenient for Op's wife. Update us in 2 to 5 years. I_frothing/ responded with, sometime in the next few years, Op is going to be posting in TIFU. Cybermagic responded with, you and me both, and hundreds of others. Wife was all for prenup when it was her it was saving. Now she doesn't want it as he makes more. And Op is too love-struck to smell the issues here. Lowtex_style responded with, same here. It's one thing to go without a prenup, it's one thing to cancel it after some more talking and thinking, but to cancel it now at the time where she wants something from him doesn't seem smart to me. Plus, was it really officially cancelled or more like a handshake kind of thing? Now on to the last story. Posted by you/good deceit. Can I tell my husband's doctor he is an alcoholic? My spouse is a severe alcoholic who has just started seeing a primary care physician after an ultimatum. He lied to his physician about how much he drinks. The physician is concerned about his blood pressure but does not know it is tied to his alcoholism. He's on a new med that simultaneously helps with blood pressure and cirrhosis, but as far as I know the doctor hasn't checked his liver function, etc. Would it be wrong to get a hold of the doctor and tell him my husband is an alcoholic before his next appointment? I'd like to give my husband the best chance of survival and feel this would help. Now on to some comments. Posted by Emergency Shit. You can tell the doctor, but the doctor can't discuss your husband's medical info with you unless husband okays it. OP responded with, I wouldn't be asking for my husband's medical info. I would just be informing the doctor. He can stay silent on the call as long as he listens. Posted by Ferris_will_life. You can and should. How will your husband react? OP responded with, angry, upset, disappointed? Maybe break up with me? Who knows? But I tried everything else. I can't sit by while he's taking meds while drinking that could shut his organs down, etc. Posted by P_squared. You could insist on coming along to his next appointment so that you can make sure he's honest. Ordinarily I wouldn't be okay with a spouse demanding something like that, but under these circumstances I think it's warranted. OP responded with, it took me 2 years to get him to see a doc. He will never let me come with him. I've asked, cried, pleaded. Update, can I tell my husband's doctor he's an alcoholic? I wanted to take a moment to make an update, especially if anyone else is in my situation. My husband is a brilliant, high-functioning man who is able to get up for work at 5:30 every morning but can also drink many bottles of wine a night. He refused to go to the doctor for years but finally went. After several appointments, The doctor noted he had high blood pressure but did not understand the likely cause because my husband was not honest with him. I know he was not honest with him because my husband told me he did not tell the doctor about his drinking problem. There was a lot of pleading with my husband to either tell the doctor or allow me to tell him by accompanying him to a visit or otherwise. The answer was no. I know many folks advised me against calling the doctor to let him know, but I felt strongly that the medicine could inadvertently kill given that it is contraindicated to alcohol. I watched someone close pass after she followed the same path and ended up on dialysis at the age of 60. Anyway, for me it boiled down to the fact that this could save my husband's life. Would I regret not telling the doctor if my husband died? And yes, I would. I called the doctor, and he called me back. I told him that I knew that he couldn't discuss my husband's medical conditions with me, but I wanted him to listen to me. And he did. He was the most compassionate, wonderful soul and said the information was very helpful, that he was there for my husband when he was ready to be open up about it, and that he was there for me as well. I did not ask the doctor to keep the call a secret. So, I don't know whether he will tell my husband tomorrow at his appointment that I called. But I would rather be the enemy for breaking trust than lose my husband from this world, and I don't believe there is any other world, but that is neither here nor there. And frankly, I'd even rather that my husband had a new wife, if he chose to leave me over this, than have to witness his death. I hope that none of you are ever in this situation, but please understand that I feel my own hard decision here was thrust upon me by him/his disease. Last update? I told my husband's doctor he is an alcoholic and the doctor told him. Quick recap, husband is a high-functioning alcoholic who desperately needs help. He finally went to the doctor but hid his alcoholism. His blood pressure came back high, and the doctor put him on meds but had no idea he was drinking on them, or that he has an issue. I went back and forth and decided to call the doctor and tell him my husband is an alcoholic. I did not ask him to keep it a secret that I called. My husband had his appointment late last week and the doctor immediately told him that I had called and what I said. After the appointment, my husband immediately confronted me. But guys, he was certainly angry that I went behind his back and that I lied, his word, about how much he drinks, and then he seemed almost thankful. I could see the look of betrayal in his eyes all night long, but I could also see how much he loved me. We hugged a lot that night and he apologized for what he was putting me through. He said the doctor was very helpful. He told him he can have 2 drinks a night on his medicine, but a bottle is not okay. He also said he was potassium deficient from drinking on the meds, something he hadn't noticed before because he didn't know about the alcoholism, and told him he needs potassium. I feel like this doctor is very much our lifeline, our hope that we will grow old together. I am so happy that I did this. And if my husband doesn't make life changes, I will at least know that I tried everything that I could. Now on to some comments. Posted by Prehensile Uvula. Hell. Yes. This internet stranger is proud of you. I know it wasn't easy, and that you were scared. But you did it, and you gave your husband the best chance at a bright future. Alcoholics often feel betrayed when people acknowledge their alcoholism. But you did everything you could to save your marriage and save his life. I hope he pulls things together, and that he then thanks you profusely for your patience and your intervention in his medical care. Posted by Red Pill Black Lotus. I'm glad it worked out for you. I'm one of the people that was adamant that you do not tell the doctor. There is no such thing as just 2 drinks for an alcoholic. That's laughable. It's 0 drinks or too many. We will tell you whatever the fuck you need to hear so we can keep using. Only you can know if he's at rock bottom, but based on your story he's nowhere near rock bottom. He has a spouse picking up the slack. Posted by W.T.F.Thekanuk. Well done. And now problems are no longer hidden or silent, but where everyone can see them. That's the first step to getting them solved. Posted by BigJack78. The doctor probably want him to know how worried you are. Posted by OK Passenger 9091. Hello op, I realize this is an old post and you may not even check this account anymore. I want you to know that no matter how this turned out for you and your husband, you are very brave and loving. I want to believe he was able to stop drinking and saved his health, and you will have many more happy years together. Alcohol takes everything you have and everything you love. The drinker goes along happily at first and bitterly at last. I tried very hard myself but did not win the battle against alcohol. I lost my husband 8 years ago and still miss him every day. He was smart and funny and kind. I hope you were able to change course and are loving your very best life now. Posted by Mrs. Moose 123. You're amazing. I just wanted to say, in case no one else has, that high-dose vitamin B supplements/injections are likely to be needed. To prevent/minimize alcohol dementia. 2 of my friends went through severe cognitive degeneration due to alcohol, and one of them might have been able to preserve more capacity had he started B vitamins earlier. The blocking of vitamin B absorption through alcohol is a physical process. No amount of willpower will stop the deterioration that occurs. I hope your husband is already on vitamin B given how much he values his mental abilities. But even if he doesn't see signs of decline now, he should talk to his doctor about preventive vitamin supplementation.